in the 80s. They said by 2018, we're going to have billions of dollars in extra wealth, right? So planning ahead is the key to everything. It's the key to everything. So let me give you some specific information that's going to help you in that transformation. Some things that I learned, things I figured out along the way. I'm going to start with mainly the three pillars of wealth. The three pillars of wealth that you want to understand are stock and bond investing, real estate, and entrepreneurship. Each of those three areas is very basic, three very basic ideas, but each of them goes extremely deep. Each of them can go extremely deep. So when we teach our children in the Black Millionaires of Tomorrow program, in the Black Business School, what we tell our kids is the same thing we would tell any adult, because these kids are going to be adults one day. We tell them to keep your poise. Poise is P-O-I-S-E. P-O-I-S-E. P-O-I-S-E stands for producer, owner, investor, saver, entrepreneur. Producer, owner, investor, saver, entrepreneur. What does that mean? Why do we tell them that? Why do we remind them of that? Well, because you see, capitalism in America is what you would call a horse and jockey type of race. And everybody's in the race. But some people are horses, some of us are jockeys, right? Think about the way a horse race works. The jockey gets on the horse's back, and the jockey don't really do much work. He just smacks the horse and tells the horse what to do. And if the horse runs fast, then the horse wins the race. And when the race is over, they don't give the money to the horse. All the rewards go to the jockey. The horse gets sent back to the stable to get his hay or whatever it is. The jockey is the one who gets the glory. The jockey is the one who gets the wreath around the neck. The jockey is the one who gets the big payday, right? Well, capitalism is a horse and jockey system in the same way. There's a massive amount of wealth being created in America. There is a wealth divide in America unlike anything we've seen in the last 100 years. That wealth divide, the divide between the haves and the have-nots, is not going to shrink. It is not going to go backwards. They are not going to be able to undo this. They have opened up that rabbit hole, that Pandora's box, and eventually America will have the same wealth disparities that they have in many third world countries, where you've got the 1% and then you've got everybody else. That divide is not going to go anywhere. I don't care what the politicians tell you. I don't care what dreams they feed, the Democrat Party, the liberals, all of that, that's not going to work. None of it's going to work, because these wealth gaps in pretty much every country, when they occur, they don't usually go backward. The only way they might go backward is if there's complete revolution and the whole society just descends into chaos, at which point you should just go buy a bunch of guns, learn to grow your own food, and build a bomb shelter or something, because it's a whole different game at that point, right? But truth be told, these gaps do not shrink. And the way these gaps work is in that horse and jockey context. You've got the people that accumulate wealth, and then those who build wealth for the accumulators. So, for example, if you grow up like I did, and you're thinking, okay, I need a place to live. Well, how do I get a place to live? Well, you can go rent an apartment. Okay, who do you rent an apartment from? You rent an apartment from a landlord. Okay, all right. Well, so you're paying rent to the landlord every month, and you don't know how that game works. The rent money, you don't get it back. We know that, right? The landlord takes that money because the landlord is the jockey. You're the horse. So you're feeding the landlord's wealth. You're giving them $1,000, $2,000 a month, whatever you pay in rent. They're taking that money and they're putting it into the value of their property, which takes that seed you've given them and they've positioned it to grow. So now that seed is going to grow through what they call capital gains, which are taxed at a much lower rate than regular income. Investors pay much lower taxes than regular working people, thanks to Ronald Reagan. Again, they opened the Pandora's box during Reaganomics. They didn't go backward. They didn't shut it again, right?